What happens when the wheels of justice come to a screeching halt? Picture this: a bustling courtroom, the air thick with anticipation, and the weight of a nation's eyes upon it. The case in question? A motion filed by none other than former President Trump, along with 7 other defendants. It's a move that brought the case to a sudden standstill, effectively pulling the emergency brake on the wheels of justice. Now, this isn't just a simple pause for a coffee break. This halt could likely push back proceedings for quite some time, a delay that could have significant implications. You see, the cogs of justice may grind slowly, but they do grind, and when they stop, it sends ripples through the legal landscape. But let's take a step back for a moment. What was this motion all about? Well, it was a challenge to the decision to leave District Attorney Fani Willis in her place, despite allegations of a conflict of interest. The supposed conflict? Her relationship with her top assistant, Nathan Wade. Judge Scott McAfee, however, decided to let Willis continue with the prosecution, but, and here's the catch, he required Wade's removal from the case. His reasons? An odor of mendacity and a lapse in judgment. If successful, this appeal could result in Willis's disqualification from prosecuting the case. This could potentially delay the case until after the general election in November. Imagine the ripple effect that could have. So we find ourselves in a moment of pause, a moment of halt. The gears of justice have stopped turning, and we are left waiting, wondering, and speculating about the next move. But what led to this unforeseen delay in the first place? Could a personal relationship ever interfere with the administration of justice? Let's delve into this question as we explore the main argument of the appeal in the Georgia Court of Appeals. The appeal challenges the decision to keep District Attorney Fani Willis on the case, alleging a potential conflict of interest due to her relationship with her top assistant, Nathan Wade. The relationship between a district attorney and their top assistant is a crucial one. They often work closely together, making decisions that can significantly impact a case's outcome. But what happens when that relationship becomes a point of contention? In this case, the appellants argue that Willis's relationship with Wade may present a conflict of interest, potentially affecting the fairness of the prosecution. The court, however, decided to retain Willis on the case. Judge Scott McAfee allowed her to continue the prosecution, marking a win for Willis. Nonetheless, the court required Wade's removal from the case. This move, seemingly a compromise, is indicative of the sensitive nature of the situation. It acknowledges the potential for conflict while maintaining faith in Willis's ability to prosecute the case without bias. But the question remains, why remove Wade and not Willis? A top assistant's role is significant, but it is the district attorney who ultimately calls the shots. Perhaps the court believed that by removing Wade, they could effectively eliminate the alleged conflict of interest. Or maybe there's more to Wade's removal than meets the eye. The decision to keep Willis on the case while removing Wade is a complex one, and it's a decision that could significantly impact the case's progression. As we continue to follow this appeal, we must consider the implications of this alleged conflict of interest. But what was it about Wade's involvement that raised eyebrows? Tune in as we delve deeper into this intriguing case in our next segment. What does it mean when a judge cites an odor of mendacity? In legal parlance, the term mendacity refers to untruthfulness or a tendency to lie. Now, when a judge uses the phrase odor of mendacity, it's like saying there's a whiff of dishonesty hanging in the air. It's a strong statement that hints at deception or a lack of honesty in the proceedings. This brings us to Judge Scott McAfee and his striking remarks concerning the case at hand. He cited an odor of mendacity and a lapse in judgment, leading to a significant decision, the removal of Nathan Wade from the case. Wade, who was the top assistant to District Attorney Fani Willis, found himself ousted due to the judge's concerns. Now you might wonder, what led Judge McAfee to make such a statement? It all boils down to the allegations of improper romantic involvement between Willis and Wade, coupled with the misuse of taxpayer funds. These are serious charges that, if proven true, could significantly impact the case. Judge McAfee's remarks about an odor of mendacity do more than just add a dramatic flair to the courtroom proceedings. They cast a shadow of uncertainty and suspicion over the case. They raise questions about the fairness of the prosecution and whether the alleged relationship and misuse of funds could have influenced the proceedings. But it doesn't stop there. The judge's comments also have the potential to reshape the case's outcome. If there's a sense of dishonesty, it could lead to a re-evaluation of evidence, testimonies, and even the conduct of the parties involved. This could result in a shift in the trial's trajectory, turning the tide for either the prosecution or the defense. But what could this appeal mean for Willis's future in the case? That's a question that hangs in the balance as we await the next chapter in this intriguing legal saga. What could be the fallout if the appeal is successful? Now let's delve into the potential ripple effects. If the appeal is successful, we could see the disqualification of Fani Willis from prosecuting the case. This would be a significant turn of events, given that Willis has been at the helm of this investigation. Her removal might mean a reshuffling of the entire prosecution team, and with it, a possible shift in the prosecution's strategy. The appeal's success could also introduce a significant delay. With Willis potentially disqualified, the case could be postponed until after the general election in November. This delay might not only impact the momentum of the case, but could also have implications for the election. In a climate where public opinion is often swayed by ongoing legal proceedings, this delay could give political candidates and their campaigns time to adjust their strategies. Furthermore, this delay would extend the uncertainty for all involved parties. The allegations themselves are serious, involving improper romantic involvement and misuse of taxpayer funds. These are not charges to be taken lightly, and the longer the case drags on, the longer the shadow of these allegations will hang over the heads of those implicated. In addition, this delay may affect the public's trust in the judicial process. The appeal's success, coupled with the potential disqualification of Willis and the subsequent delay, could lead to questions about the fairness and efficiency of the judicial system. The public may wonder if justice is truly being served, or if the proceedings are being manipulated for political gain. But remember, these are potential outcomes. The appeal's success is not guaranteed, and the courts will have to weigh the merits of the arguments presented. In the end, the decision will rest on the principles of justice and fairness that underpin our legal system. And what about the allegations at the heart of the case? What lies at the heart of these allegations that have shaken up the justice system? At the core of this case are three allegations. First, the claim of an improper romantic relationship between District Attorney Fani Willis and her top assistant, Nathan Wade. This relationship, if proven true, could pose a serious conflict of interest, undermining the impartiality of the prosecution. Secondly, there are allegations of the misuse of taxpayer funds. The specifics of these allegations are yet to be revealed. However, they pose a significant concern for the public, who have a vested interest in how their taxes are being used. Finally, there are concerns about the fairness of the prosecution. These concerns are not unfounded, given the alleged relationship between Willis and Wade. If the prosecution's impartiality is compromised, it could have serious implications for the integrity of the justice system. Adding to the gravity of these allegations is Willis's refusal to testify before the Georgia Senate Investigative Committee. This refusal has raised eyebrows and added to the scrutiny she is facing. It's not common for a district attorney to refuse to testify in an investigation, especially one of this magnitude. This refusal has led to questions about what Willis might be hiding and whether her silence is an attempt to avoid accountability. These allegations are grave and have the potential to disrupt the justice system. They raise questions about the integrity of those involved and the fairness of the legal process. The appeal's outcome could have far-reaching effects, not just for the individuals involved, but for the justice system as a whole. As we wait for the appeal's outcome, the question remains, will justice prevail?